Hi, are you having trouble figuring out what to do with your granny squares? Maybe you made a couple and you just tossed them in a bin and decided to give up. This is the video for you. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today's video, we're going to be doing 50 granny square crochet projects, okay? If you're here, then you've probably already seen my granny square idea video, and that one is just granny squares. It's not like what you can do with granny squares. So I had some of you guys because of that video, I had some of you guys basically say like, hey, love this, but I also don't know what to do with my granny squares. So that's what this video is for. It's for you to figure out what to do with your granny squares. So today's video, we have 5 categories. We have hats and accessories, blankets, home/decor, clothing, and bags. So as always, everything I say will be listed down in the description box below in the order that I said it, linked to a free pattern or paid patterner video for whatever project it is, along with a cohesive Pinterest board. So if Pinterest is your thing, you can go add it to your board and you can have everything in one place all together. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First category we have is hats and accessories. For this category, we have these heart granny square hats, any like bucket hat, like this heart one or this flower one, or just like this plain granny square bucket hat. You can also make fingerless gloves or a cover for a book, or even like a water bottle holder or a bandana, or like scarves are easy because they're basically just your squares sewn together in like one long line. You can make these slippers or even these like thigh-high socks, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen like thigh-high socks before, so that was cool to find. You can even make a balaclava, or you can make this kind of bucket hat. You can put tiny granny squares together to make a big square and then fold it into like this envelope shape to hold an iPad or a laptop or a book or something like that. The next category we have is blankets. For this category, we have, you can really make any of your blankets can be made into, any of your granny squares can be made into blankets like easily. You just have to lay them out in a rectangle and then sew them all together. But if you need some inspiration photos, there's like this one, or this strawberry green one, or this retro striped sunburst granny throw. This one's like a specific granny square pattern, so there you go. Or you can just do like really big granny stitch squares like this one and then sew them all together. Or you can do, I know this is in one of my other videos, but this daisy flower blanket's really popular, so there's another one for you. Speaking of blankets with granny squares, I recently got a P.O. box and I have this idea in mind. Okay, it might be a dumb idea, but if you have a granny square laying around, I know you do, because I do. I have several granny squares laying around. I don't know what to do with them. You can send them in to my P.O. box. I'll put it on the screen, okay? I'll also put it in the description box if I have room, because there are limits, character limits in the description box, but if I have room, it'll be down there. If I don't, here it is on the screen. Send in your granny square, and I want to sew all of the granny squares together into a really big blanket from all of my watchers, from all of my subscribers. So I want to make a subscriber blanket so bad, okay? And I got this idea. I'm trying to find the comment, but someone in the comments of my Everything I've Ever Crocheted video was like, you should use the squares that you never did anything with and put them all together for a blanket. And I was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. I'll do you one better. Everybody who wants to be a part of the subscriber blanket can send in a granny square. You don't have to make one. You can. It's up to you. But it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a simple granny square. It can be a strawberry granny square. It can be anything. If you need ideas, I have a 50 granny square crochet idea video. I'll put it there. It's on my channel, okay? If you need an idea, go watch it. But I am going to unbox all of the squares that I get on camera and sew them all together into a really big blanket and show you guys like what we were able to come up with, okay? At the time of filming this, there's 50,000 of you guys, okay? There's 50,000 subscribers. If we could just get like a couple to send in squares, we could make the coolest blanket ever. And it doesn't matter what size the square is. I'm gonna Frankenstein it all together. So if you make a big square, you know, I'll make it all work. So whatever size you're comfortable with, whatever yarn you're comfortable with, just send it in, okay? And I will have a video coming out unboxing all of those and putting the blanket together. So if that's something you're interested in, here's my PO box. Send it in. Anyways, back to the video. The next category we have is home/decor. So like household items and decor. Any granny square can be made into, oh, I'm like leaning on my shelf over here because my arm's tired from holding this up. Any granny square that you make can be made into like a dish towel or something like that. So here's a granny square dishcloth pattern, or you can even make like this dish towel. It's like a little different. The squares are kind of just in the middle, or you can literally just make like a big square like this crochet dishcloth. Like looks just like a granny square literally, or this gorgeous and so easy to make colorful solid granny square dishcloth. There's one too. Or you can make like these little baskets to hold your yarn or skincare products, or even like a plant hanger made out of granny squares. Or there's like this seat cover with pockets, which I want to make one. Okay, I know it's like I've never seen something like this before, but it's literally made out of granny squares. So if you have extra granny squares laying around, make that. Or you can make this hanging pocket thing for your room or your bathroom to hold stuff. Or you could put 9 squares together and form the front of like a pillow cover like this. The next category we have is clothing. Now there are endless options when it comes to clothing, endless, but here are some ideas if you're having trouble coming up with what to do with your granny squares. There's this dog vest, dog sweater, okay, clothing not just for humans. This dog sweater. There's a granny square vest, which is just one big granny square in the front. There's this large granny square sweater. There's a wrap top, or this kind of granny square, you know, I guess it's like a top, but you can wear something under it like in this photo. You can make a dress like this one, or you can make a granny square skirt, or you could really go crazy and make this like hooded jacket, okay? And it's like super long. It's like a cardigan, but I guess I don't know if it's a cardigan or a jacket, but it has a hood and long sleeves. That's a lot of granny squares. You could make overalls, or here's another example of like a granny square top similar to the other one. Or you can make overalls for baby. I'm pretty sure this is a vintage pattern. If vintage patterns are more your speed, there's one. You can make sweaters. Like this is a good example, but it's really just putting sweaters together. I mean, putting squares together to make a sweater. Any sweater would work. This is just an example photo. Or you can make one big granny square and make like a diagonal like square top like this, and make it like a halter, you know, just add a strap for your neck. Or you can make a tube top like this one, or you can make pants. That's fun. I've made pants before with granny squares, with skull granny squares, and there's the video for that right there. Or you can make shorts if you don't really want to go all the way with pants. Or you can make this kind of top with a flirly little bottom. This is actually me in this photo. I have a video tutorial for beginners on my channel for this one. And the last granny square project category we have is bags. Love bags. Gotta love bags. We have this like granny square pouch, which is basically just like a big granny square folded into a little pouch for like headphones or whatever. You can make granny square bag like this one, which is like a big square and then little squares. You can even make a backpack, or you can make a granny square bag similar to like this mushroom one with this layout of squares. Or you can just make a granny square pouch, which is literally 2 granny squares just sewed around the edge together. Or you can make a really big granny square bag like I did. Like this is mine right here. This is my picture. It ended up being massive because this was when I was a beginner and I wasn't aware of gauge swatches or like figuring out how many stitches I really should have been doing, and I overshot it by a lot and ended up with this huge bag. You could even make like smaller bags with little buttons, you know, to clasp the little lid over, like this one. And that is all of our granny square project crochet ideas. Okay, as always, everything I said will be linked in the description box below in the order that I said it, linked to a free or paid written pattern or video tutorial for all the photos that I showed you in this video. And if you're looking for like a cohesive place for all of the pictures in one spot, go to the Pinterest board. I'll link that down there too. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video and comment down below if there are any other crochet idea videos that you're wanting or tutorials that you can't find. I will do my best to try and find them for you, and I will add your crochet idea video idea to the long, never-ending list of videos I'm trying to get through. If you're not subscribed to my channel, why aren't you subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. We're a huge crochet community and we could definitely use more. So hit the subscribe button.